Hi, I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm John. And we are Team Donut, and our project is the Jacksonville Attendance Tracking System. To start off with our organization, we worked with the Jacksonville. The Jacksonville is a nonprofit that strives to aid members of their communities through various community programs. This ranges from recreational programs to mental health services to career training programs. The program that we're working with specifically is the on-campus transition program at UNF. This specific program works with UNF students who have intellectual or developmental differences, and we work with those students to learn important life skills. Pertaining to this project, every morning these OCT students have to check in, and at the end of each day, these students have to check out. The current check-in system that they use is outdated and needs improvement. So the Jacksonville requested that we help them to improve this system, along with another back-end system to help manage their information.
And so we based our development process on different user stories, and the four main user stories we were focusing on were: as a student, I want to check in so that my attendance is noted. As a student, I want to see a confirmation page when I check out so that I know my checkout was successful. As an admin, I want to be able to mark an absence or late check-in as excused so I know not to be concerned about it. And as an admin, I want to be able to search for individual students to look at specific details. And so one of the first main use cases is the account creation and management use case. And so for each of these use cases, there will be an activity diagram on the left to show the different routes a certain use case can take, the diagram analysis on the top right, which will show the different moving pieces within that part of the project, like what controllers or different views that are part of the project that needed to be developed, and then the model sequence diagram on the bottom right, which also is another little segue through the different processes of the application. And then next is the admin dashboard use case, where an admin can go and check the daily attendance or weekly attendance of a student. And the same diagrams are here as well. And then the next use case is the attendance recordings use case, where the student, which will be focusing on the front-facing part of the application, will be able to check in and check out. And these are the associated diagrams for that. And the last main use case is the student profile management use case, where an admin can view a student's information, edit it, and also be able to archive and unarchive students, and these are the associated diagrams with those. And this is our entity relationship diagram, where we show the general information and how we have our database set up for this project.
In terms of our software development process, we used an agile method with Jira to keep track of our sprints and various use cases we were working on, as well as Azure to host our project, which was written in ASP.NET with the MVC framework, and we can go ahead and launch right into our product demo.
Our login system uses Microsoft Identity as the backend, and we use the Microsoft Identity authorization for each of our dashboard pages. So you can log in as the admin account, which would take you to all the admin dashboards and student management stuff. And then we also have a attendance account, which is just for accessing the attendance check-in page.
For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll just be going into the main admin account.
So to start off with, we'll be starting with the student profile management. And this is just some test data. We didn't want to disclose any of the students' personal informations. But usually this table would be filled with around 25 students and their informations. And if you click on Add a Student, we can go on to the first feature, which is, of course, adding a student. And these are just normal fields. This one specifically, make sure that you have a proper N number. And the date field will just convert it to a string. It also has a calendar feature. And the student scholarships are just how they pay to be able to attend this program. And they also have a student picture. And as you can see, the new student has been officially added to the table. If you click on their first name, it'll bring that to the specific student's profile. And this is just a basic profile page, just shows their basic information and their picture. And if we go back to the table, we can see that this is just a normal data table. So you can organize the columns by first name, last name, and number, just any sort of basic stuff like that. And there's also the search bar in the top right corner. And this will search through any row. So if you want to search by last name, by birthday, and number, anything like that, it'll work. There's also the edit tab. It just shows up the same prompt as the previous one. And we just go back to the student profile management. And that will just edit the student's information. And the last feature is the archival feature. The OCT administrators did not want to lose student information completely. So even if students are out of the system, they may need that information in the future. So they would prefer to have it archived. So if you click on archive and the student's name, it'll bring them to this page just to confirm that this was intentional. And they click that button. And they will be taken out of the main student table and moved to the separate student table. That has the current students in it, so we will not look at that table, but just to let you know. And with that, we can move on to the check-in.
Sure. So on the check-in page, all the student needs to do is enter a valid IN number, then hit submit.
Huh.
Well, they have to enter a valid IN number. 011111 should work. So once a student enters their IN number, the check-in takes them to this verification page where they can see a profile picture of themselves, their name, and their IN number. If they hit no, it just takes them back to that check-in page. If they hit yes, their check-in is complete and their attendance is logged. And then after a few moments, it returns them to the check-in page. And if we go to the admin dashboard, we can actually see a log of their attendance.
So for the admin dashboard, an admin is able to see all the check-in, check-out, excused, tardy, absent, and note information for each student that was logged for that day, and it automatically sets it to today's date, and the admin can change it to another day if they wish. So I'll change it to the 12th, and then click change date, and then it'll bring up the information for that day. This table is also able to be sorted through N number and name. And if a admin wanted to, they could change the times or any of these pieces of data for that student. And just to see that the information did change, 8:13 a.m. for John Lowery on 4/12. I'll go to 13, change the date, go back, and John Lowery. And so the data table also comes with download buttons for the admin to get the information for that day. And then this button takes them to the weekly report, where it accumulates all the tardies and absences starting from that week's Monday to the current day. The admin can also specify which day to start at and end at, so it's not just within that week, it can just be between different time frames. And then with the data that's set up right now, it only goes up to the beginning of this week, but if the admin wanted to, they could choose another day from another month, for example. And that is the general rundown of our project.
Thank you for watching our presentation. Special thanks to Abigail Cheeseman and Lee Belmont for being the best clients that developers could ask for. They were super great to work with. We would also like to extend a special thanks to our mentors, Nick and James. They were always there to help us these past 2 semesters with our project, and they even helped us down our career paths a little bit to get us started. Thank you. You're super awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.